guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Michelle.
And for those of you that are new here, welcome to our channel. My name is Jessie.
And we are Momsoncrime. And on our channel, we talk about all things true crime and paranormal. Today, Jessie has a true crime story for us. What are we talking about today, Mama?
Yes, so today it is a true crime treat. But before we get started, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you guys can hang out with us on YouTube. Okay, today we're going to talk about Mackenzie Lueck. It's weird because online, when I was searching for her birthday, they said some websites say November 2nd, 1996. Some say November 6th, 1996, and some website says she was born in 1995. So,
Weird.
Yeah, it was weird. But this incident happened back in 2019. So Mackenzie, she was a student at the University of Utah. She was reported missing on June 17, 2019. And reports say she was 23. Some say she was 24. So, around that age. Mackenzie, she was raised by her parents, Greg and Diana Lueck, in El Segundo, California, along with her brothers. So, one older brother and two younger brothers. So she was the only daughter. She was their princess. Mackenzie, she was on a swimming team and she played water polo in high school. And in college, she majored in kinesiology and pre-nursing. She was a member of Alpha Chi Omega. She was in a sorority. So she was very active. She's very studious, And while she was going to college, she worked at a Salt Lake biological testing company and planned to have a career in health sciences. She was speaking to advisors about going to nursing school or medical school. And they said that her and her family, they were also raised in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Mm-hmm. So the incident happened in the early morning hours of June 17, 2019. Mackenzie, she arrived at the Salt Lake International Airport. She was coming from California from her grandmother's funeral because that's where they lived in California, and she was going to college in Utah. So she landed, I think it was around 2 a.m, around that time. So as soon as she arrived at the airport, she texted her mom and she said, "Landed, I love you, mama," along in those lines. And she was picked up by a Lyft driver. And she said, "Oh, take me to this area." And she was taken to Hatch Park. At first, the driver was like, it's in the middle of the night or in the morning. And, why in the park? It was like around 3 a.m. And she said, "Oh, I'm just meeting a friend." So her dad noticed that her mom replied back to Mackenzie's text. And her dad noticed that the wife's reply to Mackenzie was green instead of blue. So they had the iPhone. So for the non-iPhone users, if you're using an iMessage, your message bubble will turn into blue. If it turns into green, that means you don't have a service, your phone is dead or not on, or your phone just wasn't working. So the dad thought, okay, that's kind of weird. Why is the message green? So is her phone dead? Is she out of reach or something? So when the Lyft driver dropped her off at the park, the driver said that he noticed that there's a car parked there. It's a dark colored car. It's a sedan, just parked out there. And then Mackenzie stepped out of the Lyft and someone came out of the other car and helped her with her luggage. So the driver said, yeah, it looked like they knew each other, So then the driver left and that's when Mackenzie went missing. Her phone, you know, just went dead, and that's it. So initially, during the investigation, the Lyft driver was questioned because, of course,
Yeah.
he was the last known person to have seen her.
Mhm.
But the Lyft driver was like, no, I just dropped her off, and as soon as I dropped her off, I left. But then records also showed that a customer was transported right after, because I think she did like a, what is it called, the share, the Lyft share drive, what is it called?
I know
It's
what.
like, yeah, so
I can't think of the name of it.
yeah. So that's what but records show, from Lyft company, that after she got dropped off, the driver went and dropped off another customer right away. And his records, though, he was driving throughout, like all day or all night, and, transporting passengers and stuff for the rest of his shift. So he was eliminated as the suspect. Her parents, they kept on calling and texting her phone, but every time they call, it goes straight to voicemail. So of course they're like, what's going on? This is so not like her. So AT&T records obtained by police that her phone was turned off since she went missing. So they're like, that is so weird. So on June 22nd, 2019, Greg Lueck, the dad, found a separate bank account in her name, in Mackenzie's name. So all they know is she had Wells Fargo account where she was receiving deposits from her check and work, and also had a joint account with her father for tuition. So that's where the dad would be sending her. So this other bank account, he was not familiar with, like, what is that? So during the interview, friend said that Mackenzie, she was on Tinder and an app called Seeking Arrangement, and another one, I guess it's called Call Her Daddy. So I think these apps, well, Tinder, is very known. It's like a dating app, but I think Seeking Arrangement and Call Her Daddy are apps for like sugar babies. Yeah, pretty much. Like, so sugar daddies on there, and, girls that wants to be sugar babies. And they said, I guess, she's been doing that for quite a while. So, she was looking for, or, sugar daddies.
Like a side
Greg.
hustle,
Huh?
It's a side hustle for more money, college student. I think a lot of girls do that in college.
Yeah. So Greg, her dad, who was the account holder for Mackenzie's AT&T mobile number, found messages between Mackenzie's phone and a phone number with an area code 206. So they did some digging, investigation and stuff, and they found out that the number belonged to Text Me. It's another app. It's a third-party messaging app where you can use a different phone number. So if you don't want to use your phone number, you can download that app. You can pick another phone number, and then you can use that to text someone. I don't know if you can use that for a call. Well, I think it's just for text because it's called Text Me. Right. So the communication started on June 3rd from the messages that they found on that app, and till the day she went missing on June 17th. So from June 3rd to June 17th, she's been texting with that number, with area code 206. So records from Text Me revealed several IP addresses that were used to communicate with Mackenzie's phone. On the day she disappeared, though, one of those was registered to Ayoola-Ajayi. So detectives, they went to Ayula's house on June 24th. He agreed to speak to them, and they asked him, they even showed him a picture, do you know this person? And he denied. He's like, no, I don't think so. I've never met her. I've never seen her before. So then they were given permission to search Ayula's phone. So he's like, okay, fine. The police found an app called Seeking Arrangement installed on that device. So shortly after the cops left his home, Ayoola then contacted the police and said, oh, you know what? I think I remember now. I received a text message from Mackenzie's phone on June 16th at around 6:12 p.m. with a question mark. He said, so Mackenzie texted him with a question mark, and then he responded, seeking arrangement. And then he sent a photo of himself to Mackenzie, and that's when the conversation ended. So police found Mackenzie's personal phone number saved in Ayula's phone. It was unnamed. It was just this phone number. And then underneath, I guess like on the messages or whatever underneath it, it says, text me. Right?
What?
So then the cops, they still, they want to do further investigation and stuff. So, but Ayoola, he agreed to let police dig more, but he said he wanted to consult with a lawyer first. So then Ayula's phone was in the same, they found out that Ayula's phone, it was in the same area of North Lake, at Hatch Park during the time that Mackenzie disappeared. And they're like, and they found out that Mackenzie texted him last. That's where, when she used her phone last. So surveillance video also showed a dark colored 4-door sedan leaving Hatch Park shortly after the Lyft driver. So of course they're gonna investigate and stuff, like what happened. So they show the driver leaving, and then shortly after it was that dark colored car that the driver, described. So the cops, they on June 26th, police served a search warrant on Ayula's residence and car and the property around. So in the backyard, they saw that a garden hose was dragged over the area, and a piece of wood fencing had smoke pattern in the shape of a wheelbarrow. And then they found a wheelbarrow inside the garage. So they're like, somebody is burning something in here. When they did, they asked neighbors and stuff, and neighbor told police that she saw a large flame smoking coming from Ayula's yard sometime last week, which was around June 18 and June 19th. So she said he was putting gas on the fire, dragging a hose toward the blaze, and making a phone call. And she even said, you know what, you can't do that here. You have to put it out. If you want, you can call, I'll call the police department or the fire department or something. But Eula's like, no, I'll do it. And she said, she even explained, like, it was so weird because the fire or the smell, it was something that I've never smelled before. Yeah. So police, they went in there. So they seized evidence and stuff, electrical devices belonging to Ayoola, and some of the charred items that they found in the backyard. And some, they believe it belonged to Mackenzie. They were some of Mackenzie's belongings. Crime Lab was able to develop DNA profile and confirm that the muscle tissue samples taken from the backyard belonged to Mackenzie. So then Ayoola was arrested and booked into Salt Lake City jail on June 28th. Less than a week later, Mackenzie's body was found in Logan Canyon. So on the night of her disappearance, she met Ayoola at Hatch Park, right? So they met on a dating website. I'm not sure if it's Seeking Arrangement or Tinder or whatever, but they met way back in 2018. So Ayoola, he said that he had planned to murder Mackenzie prior to picking her up, turning off video in his home security system to avoid being caught or to avoid any evidence, right? So Ayoola said that once they got to Ayula's house in Fair Park, it's like a Fair Park neighborhood area, he tied her hands back with zip ties and a rope and tried to choke her with his hands. But Ayoola said that Mackenzie's trying to struggle or trying to move. So then he put her on her stomach, and that's when he strangled her with a belt until she stopped moving. So they said that Mackenzie suffered blunt force trauma on the left side of her head. She was also found to be missing part of her scalp and had a hole in her skull. So maybe from the blunt force, whatever, like she endured. And evidence suggested that Ayoola killed Mackenzie just to see what it feels like to kill.
I was going to ask you, why did he do it? If he had already met her before, like what happened? He just wanted to kill somebody?
I don't think they've met before, but they've been just chatting, I think. And I think this is the first time that they're actually meeting in person.
So he just wanted to kill somebody?
Yeah.
That's it? Oh my God.
I think he just wanted to see how it felt like.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's crazy. Then after murdering Mackenzie, Ayoola claimed her buried body and some of her belongings in the backyard and threw some of her stuff into the Jordan River. So he said, so the day that the cops came and searched his place and then they left, after like the questioning and stuff, he took Mackenzie's belongings and remains and threw Mackenzie's remains into the Jordan River the next day because he got scared. He's like, oh my gosh, they're doing they're searching my house and stuff, so I got to get rid of evidence. And he buried Mackenzie in a wooded area in a shallow grave.
God dang.
Who is Ayoola-Ajayi? So this guy, he is originally from Nigeria. Again, it's so weird because when I was doing research, some website says he's from Africa. So I don't know. But he came here in the United States with a green card. I think it's like a working visa that he had. But then again, he also studied at Utah State University, but was barred from the campus in 2012 for several reasons, including problems with his visa and allegations that he stole an iPad. So back in 2005, things got resolved with the issues with his visa, and then he went back to school, but he did not graduate. He was studying computer science. He was a information technology worker and was briefly in the Army National Guard. Well, he was bragging. I think he only went through like training and stuff, and he would always brag like, oh yeah, I was a National Guard and this and that. So on April 2019, before Mackenzie's disappearance, Ayoola asked a contractor, Brian Wolf, to build a secret soundproof room under the front porch of his house with head height hooks on the wall and fingerprint scanner for entry. He said, I just want to hide alcohol from my Mormon girlfriend because, she doesn't agree with like alcohol and stuff. And I want it to be soundproof so I can play my music as loud as I can. And the contractor kind of felt uneasy and creeped out. And he was like, I don't know. So he turned it down. And he was even saying that when he went in the car, because he was with his nephew, they both looked at each other like, that was kind of weird. That was kind of creepy. And why would you want, hooks installed on your wall? Yeah. So, and he was very, very adamant about it too, like about the quote and stuff. He was like, come on, how much, and you got to do it right away, and this and that. So the contractor was like, no, that's kind of suspicious. A cleaner also stated that his home had a lot of cameras, especially in the master bedroom. And what's creepy, so he creeped out the cleaner too. Ayoola even told the cleaner, you know what? Next time you come here, come bring your 12-year-old daughter.
Hell no.
Yeah, and like she can hang out here while you clean or something. So the cleaner, of course, she never brought the daughter with her, but I mean, she still continued to clean for her or for him and stuff. And some people were asking like, why, like, is he well off or whatever? I think he's just acting like he is. But then again, they said that he was also a bodybuilder. He was in some commercial. He was a model. I don't know. He did all these things. But Ayoola-Ajayi, he also wrote a book called Forged Identity. This book, you can buy it on Amazon, but after the incident and stuff, Amazon canceled his book and stuff. The book is about two characters burning bodies and about murder and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So prior to Mackenzie's murder, though, Ayoola sexually assaulted a woman who he had met up on a dating app. So this was back in 2018. So he met up with this woman and they met up, they went to his house, and she said that they were on the couch, they were just watching TV. Then he began intensely kissing her and trying to inappropriately touch her. And when she said no, and she tried to get away, Ayoola pinned her down and started biting her.
What?
Yeah.
What the hell?
It's weird. During investigation, he was also tied to a sexual assault back in 2014. So this guy has like history of sexual assaults already. But the alleged victim did not pursue charges though back in 2014. So before this all started, he was married. So let's go back in 2011. He was married to Tenisha-Jenkins. But Tanisha said during the interview when she found out about what happened to Mackenzie, she's like, oh my gosh, I'm sad, but I'm not surprised. Because during the marriage, it was a very abusive marriage. He would always threaten to kill her, or he would always say, oh, I'm going to have some people pick you up, kidnap you, and then kill you. Until, she just got fed up because he was so jealous. And yeah, he's just crazy. So then after police seized Ayoola's computer in June 26th during the investigation of Mackenzie Lueck, on July 2nd, a forensic lab began analyzing its contents and found multiple images of children engaged in sex acts.
Okay, no. Now he needs his wiener chopped off. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's just crazy. So when he got caught, Ayoola, he pleaded guilty in connection with the murder of Mackenzie. So he was sentenced to life in prison. He pleaded guilty to reduced charges of aggravated murder and the desecration of a human body in a plea deal to avoid the death penalty. So he's like, okay, I'm guilty because I think the trial is still ongoing. He's already in prison, and I think there's another separate trial if he's going to get the death penalty or not.
Maybe I'm wrong for it. I don't think they should be able to plea to not get the death penalty because why do they deserve to get a choice if they die or not? and the
Yeah.
person that they murdered didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing that she could have done to save her own life, so why does he get to do something to save his own? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Fine, like,
right.
take a plea deal, but like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong for that I kind of believe in that. But
or it's like sometimes like they plead guilty, like do they really feel remorse or just to save their necks, you know? It's like, oh, I'm just gonna plead guilty because I don't want to die.
Yeah, you feel really bad once you find out you're gonna die, right? Then
Exactly.
you feel bad and you feel whatever. I don't believe in that.
So if you didn't get caught yet on that first murder, I'm pretty sure you're gonna do it again.
Yeah.
You know? So but yeah, that is the sad story of Mackenzie Lueck. And that's all we have for today. Thank you guys for joining in. But before you guys leave, please don't forget to subscribe.
And don't forget to like this video. And also turn on your notification bell so you get notified every time we upload. You can also follow us on social media. We have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you have any ideas for stories or any comments or questions, you can email us at momsoncrime@gmail.com. Or tell us what you think about this story. You can leave a comment below. And also, we have shirts available on our Etsy shop. The link is down below in the description box. So that's all we have for today, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.